Hi everyone, it's Harry T, and I wanted to come on and do this video because so many of you like me sharing my thoughts with you, and I tend to enjoy that also. For me, it's a way of communicating with people that are part of my sort of tribe, you could say. I don't like the word fans because that's actually short for fanatic, so that's never a good word. Even though a lot of people use that word, it's a bit like, oh, not good. And even though you are my followers, that's also a little bit of a strange word, even though that is the correct terminology for social media. I see you more as my tribe. You know, some of you are my family members, some of you are my friends, some of you are my clients, some of you are total strangers. I have no idea who you are. So at the end of the day, you're all part of a tribe. So I was just, on a little walk. I do try to walk often. For me, it's more a meditation. It's like clearing my head. It allows me to be in my own space, in my own thoughts. And it actually really helps me to catch up on my phone calls, which, I still feel like I'm, returning people's calls from like last year. But anyway, that's another story. But I bumped into someone and we had a lovely chat, and we were just talking about certain things in the world, and how the world is very different since COVID. And that is true, that's the reality. Nothing really is the same since COVID. I think the one thing in life that is a guarantee is change. Everything changes. But I think what happened was, for us all collectively, it was a mass change that was almost unwelcome, because it was like unprepared change, unexpected change, and really just in all areas. I mean, everything is expensive, in the world. People are different. I think the entire system of how things operated, in many ways we took for granted. I think, looking back, I remember complaining about certain things in 2019 that now in 2023, nearly 2024 actually, I miss. So it's just really interesting how the perspective on that, when you realize that, you just need to accept it. It is difficult, and, it's human nature to not like change. So when you think of the whole world changing and it being human to not like that, that's probably why life is difficult, more so than it used to be. It's not just that everything is expensive and, the price of living and cost of living and whatever is just through the roof. It's more just the fact that life is different, and it changed quicker than you did, and than I did, and that we all did. So I think that's probably why, and I wanted to share that with you because so many times people say, I'm struggling to cope with this, or, I'm finding it's really hard, or it's really difficult. I think when you realize it's because everything around you changed quicker than you did, that's probably why. So it's how you react to things and how you accept things that I think is really going to make a difference in the handling of certain situations. So, because when you shift your perception and you change your perspective, your actual outlook will also change, and it will sort of jump onto the bandwagon of how the world has changed. So if you think about it, I just realized, because I'm in a hoodie, it was raining here 10 minutes ago, and I was wearing my hoodie, and I just realized it was technically still on, but it's not. It's actually off. But for a minute then I thought it was still on. Oh, that's funny. Anyway, you can tell I don't prepare for things. I literally just sit down, film, and I go. Whereas, so many other people are like, oh, let's get the lighting, let's get this, let's get that angle, let's look at ourselves in the mirror for 45 minutes before we talk to the camera. I don't even look at myself during the camera. But anyway, it's probably why people like me. I'm as authentic as it comes. I think the older I get, the more authentic I get. I've noticed that. And it's also something else I'll tell you. My little rant. It's also, I've noticed, not as many people like you when you stop sort of wanting to please everyone, when you just sort of say, this is me, and it's not necessarily a friendship. It's just, this is who I am. You can either like it or not. Not everyone will like you, but that's actually a good thing, because if everyone liked you, that means that you are not being authentic. It's not possible for everyone to like you. People aren't meant to all Jerry, you know? It's so interesting. And I know because of what I do in my work, which is very diverse. You know, I'm an announcer, I'm, you know, a tennis MC, I'm a psychic, I'm an author, I'm a media personality. My work is very broad, but it always involves, you know, members of the public. And I have found that, you know, I'm well received because I'm quite friendly and I'm quite kind, and, you know, I think I'm approachable. But I think above all that, I'm just real. And I think people do like that. But then you've got the other people who don't like that, you know, because it's confronting, you know, when they hear something that they don't like, or when they hear something they don't agree with, or when they see someone who's sort of more like living in their truth, it sort of, you know, intimidates them. But I'm not one of those people that really thinks about that. You know, so many people are constantly worried about what everyone else is doing. I'm too busy being myself, let alone someone else. But anyway, I sort of fell off where I was going. But the point is, when you shift your perception and you shift your perspective, everything will change. If you cannot control something, or if you cannot change a scenario, you've got to remember, you can change how you see it. You can change how you deal with it, and you can change how you react to it. So although not everything is changeable within your grasp, you do have something that is changeable, and it's within here. And that is very true. If you change your mind, you know, we have the greatest gift in life is free will. It's also one of the greatest, you know, downfalls of people. But really, it's in your mind. You know, it's what you perceive things to be. You know, sometimes when something happens and it's quite tragic or it's quite traumatic and it's unchangeable, you realize, you know what? Okay, this sucks, but I can deal with it and I can change how I'm seeing it. You know, on my desk, hold on, let me just read this out. I have a prayer. Hold on. I've actually got a million things in the way. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can. Hold on. I've got everything in front of it. And the wisdom to know the difference. I wanted to just make sure I read that out properly. Just because on my desk, I've had to actually clear a lot of stuff, and everything is like covered on my desk. So my prayer, which is a serenity prayer, which sits on my desk, I always look at it, and that's how I sort of get through my days, because I am bound to my desk quite often. I couldn't actually see it, but anyway, that prayer is very important. So the serenity prayer, whenever you are sort of looking for inspiration in times of distress, or when you do need to see that you have more power than you realize, I want you to recite that prayer. That's why they use it in, you know, like the 12-step program in AAs and all of that. I know that people who have addictions and they go and get help, that serenity prayer really does help them. Isn't that interesting how, you know, prayer is utilized in such a way? But that serenity prayer, I think, will really make a difference. It changes my perspective on things when I can't change the situation, and I'm sure it will also do that for you. So God bless. I hope you enjoyed this video. As usual, I will not be editing it, so it will be raw and real as it is, as I filmed it. And I apologize that I got up. Actually, no, I don't apologize. That's not, why would I be sorry? Scratch that. I don't apologize for getting up and trying to read that. But I did it, so you're welcome. Okay, God bless, and I'll speak to you again. Bye.